Oh, hello, hello, hello. What's good, everybody? It is Thursday night. We got to do a quick little makeup because had some things go down and slept through all the alarms on Tuesday. So we're going to knock it out tonight and catch back up. And the ones that going down the rabbit hole with me and traveling through this crazy story that is The Witcher, we got two of the best in the biz, fandom, D Warlock. What's good with you tonight?
Yo, fuck the bard.
You said fuck the Bard, man. The Bard ain't do nothing. What's wrong with the Bard?
What did he do to you?
I ain't hating on the Bard yet. I am not hating on the Bard. But before we get into it, we also got to welcome our traveler number 2. What's up, Vigil AK?
I'm doing all right. I kind of accidentally watched the wrong show, but I think you can sufficiently jog my memory with the awesome outlines you do.
Oh, we're going to see what we can do, see what we can make up. We got The Witcher Season 1, Episode 3. This one's called Betrayer Moon. And we open with a boy on his deathbed trying to explain what it was that put him there in this condition, and there be monsters in the woods, and they hired a Witcher to take care of it. And of course, it's a different Witcher this time who doesn't fare so well against the monster. Fandom, do you think he would have had a better chance if he actually realized what he was up against?
Hell no! Like this Witcher, within less than 5 or 10 seconds of the monster screen was dead. I'm like, yo, is Gerald?
Gerald.
Okay, so I said it right the first time, maybe.
Yeah.
Like if it was him, at least 5 or 10 minutes longer. But this one here, oh my gosh! Come on now, what's up with these Witchers? He's a low class Witcher, middle class. Is he rusty?
I mean, and then we already find out later on in the episode that they're not making any more, so you need to be a little more careful, homie. We need to keep you around.
Indeed.
But it was nice seeing Geralt getting a little R&R with some women and wine, and his lady friend seemed to know much and more about his battle scars. Like that, I don't know why you hating on this Bard fandom. The Bard must be putting in overtime with these songs.
Next episode.
Oh, but there was one scar that she did not know about, and Geralt said he received that one from a princess. Is that how he knew what kind of monster was truly out there, AK, because he had dealt with this one before?
You're talking about the monster that, what was it, in a ruined castle looking like?
Yeah.
He knew exactly how to deal with that. He almost got caught because that was a very powerful creature that he was going up against.
Yeah, powerful enough to kill that other Witcher without even hardly a struggle. So that was crazy. And Geralt supposedly doesn't have any feelings, but if so, then why did he give all his money to that Lady of the Night? Like, it meant he had to give up his horse and walk to the next job. I was like, it seems like a heartfelt gift to me, Phantom.
Nah, he didn't give up the horse. He was like, yo, watch my horse. Anything happens, I'm going to cut you next.
I'm not saying he gave up all that money. He gave a whole bag of money to that the whore. And then basically she's like, but what about the room? And he was like, and basically he gave up his horse for collateral to pay for the room until he got back. So I was like, why did he give so much to that girl? I don't know. I thought that was kind of
This is the Roz of The Witcher. Think about it. She even went to the other Witcher, so she had to be top tier and not just a regular one now.
I mean,
I'm telling you, when it happened,
I don't fault that logic.
He probably took that elixir, that extra strength elixir, Red Bull, that we constantly seeing him drinking throughout the series.
Red Bull for freaking Witchers.
Oh snap! So she just
lost. No, he's Geralt, and his amount of brooding is like beyond even Jon Snow levels.
Oh, I know he gets
he's like that a lot.
I know his number one saying just.
Yep.
He gets a lot of in there. I've been noticing that.
Yeah, and that's kudos to Henry Cavill, actually, because he campaigned to get that role because he's such a fan of the books already. That's awesome. So he very much understands his character.
And again, speaking of money, why would Geralt offer to do the job for a third of the price and not take payment until the job is done if he didn't have any feelings? Like, is he just trying to keep the Witcher name honorable, fandom?
Yeah, pretty much. Because again, since the first episode we've seen, and it continues on even through this episode, we notice not many people like the Witcher name. Not Witcher name, just Witchers in general. They're just prejudiced towards them. So he's like, okay, since this Witcher quote unquote took your money and vanished, I'll take the job third of the price.
And then the
Pretty much.
Kingsmen come to break up the Union meeting and escort Geralt back to the city limits. And on the way, the King's Mage puts the guards to sleep and has a little chat with Geralt. And if she's that strong, why didn't she just kill or capture the monster herself, AK?
Who is the
mage? Basically, the King's Mage that was there with Geralt pretty much the whole time until he had to actually battle her.
Trish Marigold. There we go.
If I remember correctly, there's something up with her powers that she couldn't take it out.
Man, I
don't recall exactly what it was, but it would have taken a Witcher on Geralt's level to take that thing out.
Man, she's just putting people to sleep and not even there. It seems like she's pretty strong. Yeah, I don't know why something like that couldn't do it. Why it had to be a Witcher, but I guess they got them special skills.
Mm-hmm.
And the sorceress is pretty shady, and she's definitely a shrewd businesswoman because the miners paid the first Witcher 3,000 Orin, and this sorcerer has like the dead Witcher, which means she probably has the coin that he had as well, and she's only offering to pay Geralt like with her own coin, 2,000. Which first off, it ain't her coin. I'm sure she's paying with the Witcher's money, and she's still gonna pocket 1,000 Orin. What's up with that, fandom? Is she just a shrewd businesswoman?
It just dawned on me, like, yeah, the Witcher got the 3K, and he dead, and she has the body. Does she have the 3K on her?
You know what I'm saying? That's what
Yo,
what about that? If so, I don't blame her. Exactly, AK.
I respect the hustle. I don't like the bitch, but I respect the hustle.
Unbelievable. I was like, how are you going to only offer, and it ain't even your money while you paying with your coin? No, you're not, liar.
That was like kind of like pissed off that they knew, or she knew, that the Witcher didn't run off with the money. He died. Yeah. And it's like, wow, you just couldn't just been honest, like, oh, y'all send the Witcher.
Yeah, you're tarnishing our name out there. That ain't cool. Making us look bad.
And when he asked her, like, she just gave like a nonchalant thing, like, oh, well, like, come on now.
Yep.
Not all witches are even like, or mages are not even like in good light too. So it's iffy.
Exactly. And Geralt is smarter than the average bear because he inspected that dead Witcher's body and knew instantly that it wasn't the Voodoo that everybody thought it was, that this was a straight Striga. This is the only thing that's that picky of an eater. So, I mean, he's up on his game. He knows what's up. So, I mean, respect this man.
Facts.
So Strigas are female, and this one's a princess, and he has a scar on his leg from a princess, and that kind of got me thinking. I'm like, are we seeing two different timelines rolling on right there? Or is this the second time he's actually fighting a Striga? Because he said they're very rare. So was that on two different timelines, or is that two different Strigas he fought, fandom?
At this point, timeline after timeline, I don't even know anymore. Right? But I do know, like, one is from, what's her face in the first episode?
Megan Frog? Or are you talking about Theory?
Yeah, Theory, yeah. Siri? I know one, not Siri, who was the first princess that got that Geralt killed because he was going after Stregaborn?
Renfrey?
There we go. Isn't she like a princess or no?
Yeah, an exiled princess, but she's a princess.
So I'm guessing that's like from one of the scars like she mentioned. Then there's like another princess we haven't seen yet, maybe.
What was the deal with the Brotherhood watching Yennefer have sex with Istrid? What was that all about?
Is that this episode?
Yeah, that was this episode. We went out and they're like, oh, nice touch having all of them watch and then clap. And like, what was that all about? Like, that was kind of crazy.
It was a random ass spectacle.
I'm like,
exactly. Oh, first I was like, is this actually happening or is that just like an illusion or something?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm pretty sure they were being watched, if I remember correctly.
Oh, that was just wild.
Yeah, it's gross. I mean, this is Stregabor's minion we talking about, though.
And then afterward, Istrid said after the initiation that they're in charge and get to make the decision of where they want to be. So why wasn't that the case for Yennefer? Like they were going to force her to go to a kingdom that nobody wanted to go to. Why didn't she get to pick her own thing, AK?
That part I don't remember. I do recall, though, that like for the final test, there was an issue. Like they didn't even want to give her, the random upgrades that she was supposed to get when she's assigned.
Oh, they just said the nepotism you could smell from miles away because oh boy didn't want to send his niece there. And all the other ones are like, oh yeah, his niece isn't strong enough. We need somebody with more spine. Like, haha. Like, how's the spine on your girl? And they wanted to make her there, and they used that oh boy finding out that she had a quarter bit of elf in her blood, and they used that
Mm-hmm.
against her to basically like they just ramped that up the whole time. That was messed up.
Yeah, I think it also had a little something to do with the leader, that's their trainer, that's taking them through all the magic school stuff. I
Tessia?
think she may have wanted Yennefer to practice even more.
No, yeah, Tessia tried to fight for it, but she got
Yeah.
overruled by the whole other the rest of the Brotherhood. Like it was a ramp up. Strogobor started that, and yeah, it was Strogobor wanting to do that the whole time for some reason. And,
Yeah, he's got his hands in a lot of shit.
yeah, we don't know why yet, but yeah, we know he's guilty. He's sideways as hell. And then we see before being shipped off to help run a kingdom, the mages get enchanted to look beautiful. And is it a lifelong spell? Like, could a witcher see through that enchantment? Do you think, Phantom?
Which enchantment? I'm confused now.
The mages, they make themselves look beautiful. Like Yennefer made herself
Mhm.
look totally different and beautiful. It's like, do you think that's a lifelong spell? Do you think witchers can see through that enchantment?
I wouldn't be surprised if they could see through the enchantment, because as we see within the series so far, that Gerald can like sense things or smell things beyond like a normal human or even like a
Mhm.
mage.
That's crazy. And it
That's why
seems
folks get to saying that they don't think witchers are even really human. They're mutants.
oh, they're beyond human. They're a whole another level. And speaking of witchers, Geralt has he's made it to Temeria, and he has an audience with the king. And it does not take long to realize it was the king who impregnated his sister, and this is the real reason that he refuses to kill the monster, because it's actually his daughter and the rightful heir to the throne. I was like, this is some messed up shit up in here.
Shenanigans in the
Oh,
family tree.
too much. The royals are just keeping it a little too close. And then during a meeting of the mages, there's a ramp up, and like we said, Strogobor is hijacking the proceedings, trying to put who he wants where he wants them. And
Mhm.
Tissia she got totally blindsided by that. So do you think will these two be the death of each other by the end of this series? Do you think, Phantom?
Most likely. Even thinking about it, I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually even Stragaborn, but maybe even someone else. Because in the first episode, we keep on seeing her when he was talking to Gerard that like he was taking like so many appearances that he was just like disguising his like true name. So it's like, is that even his real name? Did he kill the real Stragaborn? And like this person is just doing their own thing.
Oh, that'd be sick. Somebody else trying to get it.
That's some decent tinfoil theory right there. And I don't remember the answer, so I can't even confirm or deny.
I like it. I like it. If Tessia truly is in charge of mage placement, why didn't she just let herself? I don't see how she let herself get ambushed in that meeting like that. Like, why not just refuse their suggestion? And she was kind of trying, but yeah, I guess she just got outvoted. But I mean, is she in charge or isn't she in charge? That was kind of messed up. Like, is this my job or not? You ain't outvoting me on all this shit. Like,
I mean, she is, but she still has people to answer to as well.
I mean, I guess it's like a committee more than a boss. But
It's
man,
like the board of directors at Stark Tech,
right? And then Yennefer receives the news that her new position has been hijacked, and she is none too pleased. She immediately storms into Tessia's office to protest, but she seems pretty keen on the way things work. She instantly knew that the chapter overruled Tessia and called her out on her bullshit. I was like, this girl's pretty smart. I like that.
Yep. She ain't dumb at all.
She then finds out it's due to her elven blood that they base their decision. And again, this is all Strugbor's is doing. So why does he not want Yennefer to aid the elven kingdom? Like, what's he trying to hold back, AK?
He doesn't want the elves to be able to reclaim all the power and lands they've lost.
He wants to keep it like it is.
Yeah, he wants to keep them all oppressed until they can just wipe them all out.
Okay. And then the king ordered Geralt to leave Temeria. Why didn't he just go? Like, does he know he's the only one strong enough to deal with this particular monster, Phantom?
You're goddamn right, because the king doesn't seem like he doesn't want to do anything because he knows what's up. And then he already sent one Witcher, and that Witcher dead, so it's like, all right, it's just me now. And if I die, I die.
And then he said he didn't want the miner's coin, and the sorceress asked, what does this girl mean to you? And he didn't answer. He just said, you first. Like, was Geralt the first princess's lover, like, in the town people that they rumored about, AK?
Never. There is something interesting with that, but no, that's not the case.
That's not it. That's not the way it is. Because he would not answer. I'm like, something's up. He must have known this girl or had some kind of connection to her. So that was kind of
watching.
Or when he first fought like the species kind before, I'm guessing before, like he probably wasn't able to like cure the curse, so it's like a redemption thing for him if he was able to free the curse with this princess. That's my guess.
Or we find out that this princess is Siri like a bunch of years later. Oh my God, wouldn't that be crazy? Oh, but it's Gerald. Gerald already figured out. Oh, also the sorceress didn't answer Geralt when they asked like what the princess meant to her. Like, what's this? What was up with the sorceress and this chick? Like, maybe there was a reason she didn't want to take it out.
This is why I was saying there's a lot of protection that goes on with Ciri. She is something special to Geralt, but again, keep watching because that also ties into the topic that you just brought up.
Right, because I'm saying, yeah, this sorceress from this kingdom all of a sudden didn't want to do this Princess Anna or whatever her name was, Princess Ada. So it's like,
yeah.
So there's a breadcrumb trail to follow there.
Right. And then Geralt has already figured out that the princess is actually the king's daughter by incest. He also smells the guard's odor on the princess's bed. So it seems like losing feeling and emotion has heightened his other senses. Will they touch more on like Witcher training by the end of this, you think, Phantom?
That would be something like I hope, like then maybe like season 2. Like if they go more into like his like backstory of how like he was like trained, I hope like they dive into that to probably like next season.
Accurate.
That'd be kind of cool. And then Istrid confronts Yennefer about missing the initiation, also on only being mad because she lost her chance to be beautiful. He said, no amount of power or beauty is ever going to make you feel worthy of either. You think he's right about that? Was she ever going to be content, AK?
Because I have not seen the whole season 2, I can only say I'm on the fence with it. There are some things that are coming in future episodes for this season. It may give y'all a little more insight, but there's a lot going on, especially now having been changed into the beautiful purple-eyed thing that she is now. There's going to be something very big that she regrets with that. So yeah, there's more breadcrumbs. Keep reading or watching.
Oh my gosh, I just looked over in the chat. We have an absolute legend that hit it. What's up? I see Spots. It's been way too long. Good to see you, brother.
What's good, kid?
Oh, what's up, Jay Cruz? I see you out there. Good to see you. Good to see you. Got Christian Oles hitting the house. Good to see you, man. Man, that's been a minute. I've been missing out. What's good, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back. What's everybody thinking of The Witcher? I'm sure most of you guys have seen season 2, but we're just going step by step.
Yeah, no spoilers for the boys. They haven't even seen all of us season 1, guys.
Yep, we Fandom and I are going one by one. We're just up to episode 4, and AK is, I believe, seen all of season 1. But you haven't seen any of season 2 yet?
I've seen the first and part of the second episode for season 2.
Yeah, there you go. But back on this one, when we flash back to the Harry Potter porn or prom, I noticed that it was like a different time.
Porn.
It was like a different time, and the King of Temeria was young, and his sister was still alive. So that was absolutely on a different timeline.
Yeah, that really tripped me because in the portrait, when they were like going through that abandoned castle or crap, wherever it was, we saw them when they were young, and then literally when we go back to the whole Yennefer thing, and we see them as a kid. So I'm like, hold up.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me this is when I was talking to you guys way before the stream started. Like, how old is Yennefer? Like, quote unquote, present day, I should say now. Like this whole timeline thing. This is when I got like hella confused. It's like Westworld all over again.
Yeah, that's why I gave you all them small hints last week, so you can remember that.
Oh man, yeah, it is absolutely. It's going round and round, and the webs are being wove. Yennefer has had enough and decides to take matters into her own hands. She's going to have her enchantment done with or without permission, and she's doing it with no Novocaine. Like, oh my God.
No anesthetic, and that's just not a process you could just say, oh, 'tis but the flesh wound. Nah.
Oh, that was crazy. And it was also crazy how she wasn't the only one screaming. We're going to be talking about that. But Geralt walked up into the castle like knowing he was getting ready to go in. And he drew that sword like, you'll be sorry. Could you really have talking, like when he walked up on all them guards and he drew that sword, like, do you think he really could have taken that entire group of guards down on his own, Phantom?
With ease. Not even a competition whatsoever. Unless you're like a monster, like you're not even gonna be any type of competition as of yet that we have seen. Unless there's like some type of Vin Diesel or Dwayne The Rock Johnson, like human character we haven't seen yet.
He's just going straight Sir Arthur Dane on all of them.
You know, it actually reminds me of a debate that was going on Twitter earlier. Folks were trying to say that Harry Potter could like beat Percy Jackson in a fight, and I'm like, bruh, Harry has a wand. Okay, yeah, I get that, but that will be fighting a fucking demigod.
He got the lightning.
All right. Well, yeah, well, no, he doesn't have the lightning. That's his uncle's weapon. But he does have his dad's weapon, which makes him a decent swordsman, but he doesn't need a swordsman. It only takes like 1 teaspoon of water to drown someone. And what's Percy's special power? He's a son of Poseidon.
Yep. Oh, man. Geralt gave the king a brooch in a present for the princess. He also said that this isn't his first time trying to save a princess. Is this like a Wheel of Time situation or even like a video game? Like he's tried to save her before but died trying, so this is like a second life.
To respawn.
That's what it felt like to me. I was just like, that's crazy. Like, why did he give that king that brooch, AK?
The brooch itself, I honestly don't remember.
Because he pulled it out. He's like a gift for the princess.
It's the same brooch that he got from what's her name in the first? I keep on forgetting her name.
Renfrey.
Yeah, that's the same brooch that he got from her corpse.
Oh, that is the one he got from Renfrey?
Yeah.
And then he was going to give this to her. Like, is that giving it back to her? That's just crazy. And then in the end, girl ends up giving it back to him. So how is this brooch just going back and forth? And where did it really belong? And how many timelines we seeing through that?
Geralt, I think it's a little tidbit that the creators and the writers put in, but they didn't properly explain it. Renfrey has a whole more expanded storyline in the books, and they didn't do that good of a job putting that on the screen for the short amount of time they had Renfrey in there.
I'm completely
unless
there's some things missed in comparison.
Unless she comes back from the dead.
AK Claus, no.
I don't think she'll come back
to that.
Dead. I just think we'll see her again in like a different timeline because we've already seen her in a couple different timelines. Like,
that's if she returns from
the dead.
Somehow. But I don't think that. Remember, Stregobor has her body. He doesn't want her or any other woman with the black sun thing just walking around.
Oh, that's awesome. They're filming the next season of The Witcher now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Westworld.
Jay says I could have taken it. Oh, man. The king said he envied Geralt to live and never have to love. Is it true that he will never love or is that like an old wives' tale? Because he looked like he was remembering love to me. And we also hear like a horse neigh reminding us that if nothing else, we know he loves his horse. So what's up? Is he ever going to really love Phantom?
I say he does. He's just private with his life, honestly.
Or does just really good at holding his emotions in check.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
That's pretty tight. And then
he's a good poker player.
Hey,
yeah.
The Witcher knows it was the guard who cast the curse on Ada and the princess. Like, do you think he deserved what he got, Phantom?
Of course, seriously. You trying to get with a girl, but then, okay, her freaking brother, like, got with her. And then, like, okay, I'm going to have revenge. Kill your lover, and then instead of like he should have just cursed the king, honestly. Cursed the king, died, boo-hoo. You could have been with the freaking princess. But no, you decide to like curse the princess, she dies, her freaking infant then pretty much eats her dead corpse, and then starts killing pretty much random people in the kingdom so the kingdom can then turn on the king. Like, come on now. Innocent people died because you wanted some poutine.
Exactly. And the princess already tried to tell you that it's not going to work out. You just got to go, and you just had to go all crazy crush on it. And yeah, now look what happened.
Yeah.
And that Striga looked to have like a hunchback and was like very powerful. Was it in some way related to Yennefer, AK?
Repeat that.
The Striga, like when it was walking through, it had like a hunchback, kind of like Yennefer's. And it was
no. Like, coincidence.
I don't know. And the way that it was screaming and Yennefer was screaming at the same time, like when Yennefer got basically her ovaries removed and that thing was coming back to not being a monster anymore, like the way they were screaming, it was like in unison at the same time. It just feels like they were connected in some kind of way.
Well, and I think it was probably meant for us to feel that way, but to me, it just looked like, yeah, they were both going through some really traumatic shit, and it felt, right adaptation, I guess, for lack of better words, that you would see that side by side. It's not necessarily a connection between Yennefer and the kid. It's more what Yennefer has with Geralt.
And I was questioning, like, what was this? What was it, Witcher mage that told him about the curse? And at one point, I'm like, oh, we're gonna get like a flashback of like some hooded individual, and then it's gonna be later revealed to be Yennefer.
Maybe.
Yeah, there's a lot coming along those lines.
Because I was like, was there a tie into the Witcher fighting the Striga and Yennefer going through that enchantment, even though the way they even both broke through their chains that bound them at the same time, similarly, and like it almost like the way they were both screaming and the way they were both like huddled on the floor, like in blood and muck, like they tied it in almost side by side, like they were both going through an initiation at the same time. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think that was just clever storytelling.
It could have been, but man, it just feels like they're trying to say these two are connected somehow. But yeah, I don't know. That was pretty crazy. And how magical is this Witcher? Like, how did he slap the ground twice and then fall through the floor like that, Phantom? That was sick.
The whole fight with the creature.
Yeah, he just was like pop, like enchanted the floor, and then popped it again, and then just went down a whole nother level. Like,
that reminds me of Neo from the Matrix with his force abilities. I swear, we watched Matrix just in time.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. These Witchers, they start off training as little boys, but they are like fully trained and are essentially mutants. That's literally what people call them in the books. So he's got some special powers, especially when he drinks that damn concoction potion that he drinks.
Oh, he got all kinds of potions. He got something for every occasion. And how sick are those wolf head brass knuckles, boy? Those bad boys were effective. Oh my god.
I think I want a replica of those. I just don't know where to go get them.
I'm telling you, they were ridiculous.
They were pretty sweet, yeah.
Knocked the hell out of that Striga. I was like, get it. And then why did Geralt take off his shoulder armor, toss it to the floor? Like, it seems like he fated himself to get clawed in his neck like that. Like, that's right where his armor was protecting. Why would he take that off just to get got like that, Phantom?
What is it called again? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on it. Oh. They needed it to happen so he can pass out and just say Renfri's name, so that Marigold can bring it up when it was waking up.
They needed that for the plot.
Yeah, for the plot convenience. Not plot convenience, for the plot. That's the only reason why, honestly.
Yeah. And then Yennefer enters the Harry Potter gala 35 years later, and everyone is in awe at her beauty, just as she always wanted. It's like, that was kind of crazy. And you saw that was two different dances, even though they were kind of trying to paint it as one. But that was definitely a different timeline.
Yeah, she rolled in like the dark-haired Daenerys Targaryen with the purple eyes and the sexy dress and all that. I wasn't mad at it.
No, she was doing her thing. Absolutely. What, if anything's going to happen to her for her insolence, do you think, AK?
They'll get over it. If I remember correctly, I think she does get a couple stern talking tos or something or other, but they get over it.
Nothing more than a slap on the wrist.
Yep, pretty much.
Why was Geralt repeating Renfri's name while he was out like that, Phantom?
It was great pussy, I guess, DJ. He's still in his mind about that whole prophecy that she said when she was died. So I guess it's just still in his subconscious mind. He can't die yet because he still hasn't met that girl in the woods.
It's damn it, what was I about to say?
And then, like I said, why did the king give the brooch back? Because when old girl, he's like, I'll take my payment now. She gave him the payment, and inside the payment was the brooch again. So is this the first time he got the brooch, or is she getting it back? And why would the king give that brooch back when he said it was a gift for the princess? I didn't understand all that.
Remember, DJ, game recognizes game. Not only she got the 3K, but she's holding down to the 2K. She rich.
Oh man, I'm just what is going on with this?
It's a hustle. I guess that's how they hustled in the medieval elvish days.
But I mean, I know the king said you plan on dying. That's why he gave him the brooch. So maybe since he didn't die, he got the brooch back. But he said it was a gift for the princess. So I don't understand why they didn't give it to princess. Why they gave it back to him? There just has to be some meaning with this damn brooch I didn't catch, or something was going on. What's up, Chad? Anybody else know what's going on with that brooch? Why is it just getting passed around like that?
I mean, he did like took it from her body, so it must have been like some type of importance. Because like of all things, like why did he take that brooch?
Yeah, that's insane. And then at the end, when Siri was walking towards the woods, who do you think was shooting arrows at Dara? Like, and better yet, who was she hearing whisper her name? And then we end up getting that actually found out in the next episode. But
Do we though?
It's the shapeshifter, isn't it?
But they question it though. They questioned in episode 4, like, how did you get there? And we didn't even get an answer, even in episode 4. So,
well, I guess we know who shot Dara with the arrow. But
yeah, that we know. But like,
we don't know who was whispering.
Jog my memory. Who did the arrow?
It was those little. It was all the little children of the forest.
Ah, yeah. That's right.
They all had their little weapons. All right, we're gonna knock out some real quick trivia, real quick. See if anybody remembers anything about this show, and see how deep we go. How much did the miners pay the first Witcher to slay the monster?
$3,000.
3K.
3,000 orans, absolutely correct. Who was that witch that served King Foltest? Who was the witch?
Whatchamacallit?
I almost want to say something that starts
Marigold.
with an L or an M.
Yeah, I was about to say you said it earlier. Trish Marigold, absolutely. What was the monster called that Gerald fought?
Is it
Strigger? Yeah, something. Yeah.
Striga. I've said it.
Something that sounds like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Striga. Oh, what two bloody organs are Strigas known to eat?
A heart and a liver.
Ooh, yeah, my man's killing it. One more. Where did the sorceress send the princess to stay a while?
She's.
You mean after Gerald got her out of the dingy castle?
Yep, this is a deep dive.
It was it a nunnery or something?
My man.
Hey,
Sisters
get on your fandom.
Absolutely. Sent her to stay with the Sisters of Melitel. Absolutely. Told her to stay with the nuns. Well done. Well done. Absolutely knocked that one out of the park. There you go. So we're just going to keep.
Did we miss one at all?
Nope.
Hey.
This is the first time.
First time, right.
Rushing it.
You know why? Because not many names or numbers with this one.
Yeah, like I said, this is one of those shows I could make 100 questions on and nobody could answer. It's like,
please don't.
Yeah, it's hard enough.
Because there will still be those 5 on the list that we were like, damn it, we didn't write that shit down.
Right? We're trying to keep it fun. It's hard enough to keep up with this one. And speaking of keeping up, we're going right into The Witcher Season 1, Episode 4, Banquets, Bastards, and Burials. And we pick right up where we left off on the last one, little Ciri being summoned to the forest by a voice only she can hear. And once she reaches the forest, a bunch of women dressed like the surroundings encircle her, and then Leaf pops up and tells her to follow. And I was like, oh, man. Were you a little worried for Ciri right out of the gate, Phantom?
Of course. One, we didn't even know, like, again, like, how is she that gifted at that point? So it's like, whatever was calling her, is it for the good or for the bad?
Right? Because soon she meets Black Maggie the Frog, who will soon introduce her to Bloodraven. And again, we ask, like, who she is, and she produces a fake name. So Ciri's smarter than your average bear, so that's going to help her keep her alive, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And how gross was Geralt all covered in Sucklemore guts? Like, that was rough to look at. I mean, the hair and makeup are killing it, is what I'm saying. Like,
what's baby girl's name? Shit. In Fire and Blood, the Targaryen that went over to old Valyria, and by the time her and her dragon got back, she had like fireworms and shit in her body and just being gross and ugh.
The guts were everywhere. I'm like, her and May, dude, special effects are killing it because that grossed me the hell out. And how popular is this bard already? He already had the whole tavern singing his song. I'm like, they're singing him from coast to coast at this point, fandom. How you hating on this man?
In the words of The Witcher, fuck off, bard.
Stop hating on my boy, man.
Oh, man. Again, The Witcher supposedly has no feelings, yet he does because the bard asked him for a huge favor, and he basically does it. Like, would someone with no feelings do that for just a friend? Like, they would only do that for a friend. So
that's why I said he's Brody as hell, and he tries to make you think that he don't care with all the yeah, okay, bro, we can see like all of the feelings shining. Okay, if he really wanted what's his name dead and gone, he could have easily taken care of that shit. And I agree. And yes, Jake, the bard gets better. So stay tuned, fandom. Stop hating.
The bard gets better. I'm telling the bard's killing it. Oh. We need to do 2 episodes at a time. I need you guys caught up. I want to talk about a bunch of new stuff. I know. Yep, that's why we are. We're doing them 2
We're
at a
getting
time.
there, man. We're getting there. We're breezing through this
I can.
season.
It's not easy writing 2 outlines at once, so yeah, I can't do 3, but we can keep moving. But yeah, it was funny, like the Bard trying to keep Geralt under wraps, but like he gets called out like 2 steps into the party. Like, there's nothing working.
Bruh.
Speaking of like covered up, the Queen arrived all covered in blood, fresh from battle. Like it looks like it was true about her being quick to war.
Yeah, definitely. That's why people don't like her. They don't respect her.
Yeah, she's getting all the men killed. And this party's a courting for the princess Pavada's, and they want her hand in marriage, but she is not happy at all about it. Like she is not trying to marry any of these fools.
She's already in love.
Right? And that nobody knew about, but watch out. And then back in the forest, Ciri finds Dara again, and once back together, they hear like that all newcomers to the forest must drink the water. I'm like, I don't know about that. It said it kills you if it doesn't like you or whatever. You drinking that water, Phantom?
I thought it was kind of like placebo water. Like I thought they were just saying that just to like weed you out. Like if we tell you if you drink it and you know you have some devious intentions and you die, then you hesitate. Are you gonna hesitate because you're like nervous, or you're hesitating because you do have ill intentions?
Right.
Yeah, this is not the House of Black and White. Is what I'm saying. That fountain of water that they have that can actually make that choice, like the damn sorting hat, whether it wants to like you or not. There's a little more to it than that.
Just doesn't give you the gift.
Yeah,
right
and homeboy tried to warn her, the little boy that rescued her.
He said everything's gonna be fine, everything's gonna be okay, which I think is what made her actually drink the water.
Which is absurd.
Right. But back at the party, the Queen seems to have like a special interest in the Witcher. And did she have ulterior motives the whole time, Phantom?
Yep, pretty much.
I mean, she
at first I thought that she was just like into and just wanted to sleep with her, but then as the time progressed, I'm like, yeah, hitting an agenda here.
She knew some shit was coming.
If you can say any one thing about Maggie the Frog being queen there, she's a loyal woman. You know, she's a warmongering asshole and a bullshit conqueror, but she's very loyal. No, there was no sexual attraction to Geralt at all.
No, nothing like that. And like maybe a little. And plus, she knew some shit was going to come down, and she wanted him by her side so she could order him to do
Yes, she pretty much bribed him to stay there. Yeah, but and y'all know that's not Geralt Stilo. He ain't in for the house parties like that.
He wasn't scared of nothing. And it seems no matter what he said, she spun it in a good light. Like she wanted him by her side at that party, at that dinner party.
There's a reason.
Yep. And then back in the Forest, Stars finds out why who Ciri truly is, and he lets her know it was her grandmother who slaughtered his entire family. And I was like, awkward. And then back at the castles, folks are being clowned like while another timeline we see Yennefer not so happy in her appointment. And then to make it like worse, she gets attacked on the road by an assassin. So that was kind of crazy how they just kept bouncing around like that. It's like, whoa. First off, she's at this party, then she's in a carriage with like some other princess with another baby. And
it seems like they said it was like 30 years since she's been doing this, I believe she said, mentioned in the cabin. Like so it's like, oh my gosh. So it's like, if we saw you in the beginning of the series, like let's say you're in your 20s, you said 30 years has passed.
Early
you look
20s,
like, yeah. So it's like, look like you haven't like aged a day. So it's like,
and it's not a glamour. It's just something that happens with the change they go through. What was I going to say? The assassins weren't actually after her, though. No, they were after the baby.
Well, they're after the queen. Because she said, looks like the king's done giving you chances to produce a male heir. Because she kept giving him princesses instead of princes.
Yeah.
So that was good. She wanted the queen to be dead so he could remarry somebody that's going to give him a prince. Which is just insane. But when they're running from the assassin, like, every time she went through a portal, the princess puked. How come you think that was? Like, is that like a Legends of Tomorrow thing that just time travel makes you puke, or some kind of special magic? Like, I don't know. Did you notice that?
I just want to say that.
Necessarily time traveling.
What's that?
I said I don't think it's necessarily time traveling.
No, he was like comparing like just like teleporting.
It's like Harry Potter. He's
like
apparating to a new location.
Even like with the Flash when he like uses abilities with someone. And
right. Yeah, like when he ended up in Supergirl's world. Yeah.
So she just wasn't used to it. But I thought that was kind of weird how every time she went through one, she was yakking. It's like, that's kind of a weird little side effect. And how is that queen gonna talk shit to the one person that's actively trying to save her? Like, I think she'd be showing some praise on the one. I would be trying to help me not to die at that point. You're just gonna talk shit to her? Like, what do you think was gonna happen?
That's that bullshit mentality she got.
Privileged. I was like, are you out your mind? And was like I said, was Yennefer right to just bounce on her right then? I mean, it seemed like a fight or die situation. So she's like, "Oh, you gonna talk shit to me? Here, you deal with it." She just bounced herself. Oh, she's like, "You bitch."
Yennefer about that life. Okay, she will always choose violence when it's needed.
I was curious on like how the assassinist kept finding them. Like, what did the princess have that just kept like allowing him to like keep tracking her?
I want to say it had to do with the blood of the baby.
That could have been that too, yeah.
Yeah, because they couldn't figure it out. She was ripping off her dress, all jewelry. Like they couldn't figure out what he was tracking her with. So man, maybe it was blood of the baby.
She almost saved the kid though. No, kudos to her.
Yeah. Are all witches as educated as Geralt? Like he held his own when he was talking to the queen with a silver tongue all night. Like every time she tried to spin it, he just like backed himself out of it. Like, is it just because he's so old and smart and been around that long, or is that just something else they teach him? Super intelligence.
Combination of both, honestly.
My man was holding it down. He also has no fear telling the queen no, which was pretty ballsy.
He is not under anybody's jurisdiction but his own.
She's like, I could order you. He's like, I'm not one of your subjects.
You could do what? I mean, you can order me, yeah, if you want to, but then I'm gonna just walk the fuck out the door. What your guard's gonna do? Not a damn thing.
The chutzpah on this man, it was unbelievable.
He does have balls. Okay, yeah, you're right.
And when it's time for the number one suitor to step up and put an end to all this madness, the knight bursts in, making his way to the front of the queen to ask her for his daughter's hand in marriage. And when his helmet gets knocked off, it's revealed that he's been cursed with a porcupine head. Sir Quill's right, though. He was kind of holding his own against all them other ones.
He wasn't without skill.
I'm telling you, a queen that likes war so much should like to have a son-in-law like that can fight and hold his own. It's been a big help.
Yeah,
a lot of these people in this kingdom are just prejudiced towards like any type of creature.
Anything, yeah, they're very xenophobic.
Yeah, like was it the second episode when we had like the bard with the other elf and that type of, what was it? Some type of, was it satyr or something?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Crazy thing.
No, not the dwarf. Well, the dwarf too, but no, the satyr thing that was with the elves.
The thing they call the devil.
Yeah, right.
They don't care.
You know, Queenie was quick to turn on the Witcher when he stepped in to save that cursed knight. Like, she's like, "Oh, you're gonna be on his side? Off with your head too." But
she thought.
Yeah, right. It was also a surprise to see the Queen's suitor step in on the other side for the outsiders. Like, it seems that law of surprise ain't nothing to fuck with, Phantom.
Also trying to figure out what the hell is the law of surprise. Is that a Witcher thing, or is that?
Keep watching.
No, they said it's as old as time itself. Basically, the world. Like, basically, if you save somebody's life and you take the law of surprise, you could get a crop or you could get their firstborn. You never know what it is. You get whatever their next big surprise is that they have that they didn't know they had, which is kind of crazy.
Yo, these motherfuckers again. What?
And then that was so sad when the queen like offered the baby up for a sacrifice to the assassin. Like, she kind of deserved to get her throat slit on that one. Don't you agree, AK?
Facts. No, y'all know me and tiny humans.
Yeah, you don't
do that.
Babies no matter what. That's absolutely ridiculous. What's up? We got Peter Griffin in the house. I see you out there. What's happening? What's up? Oh man, and back to it. Whoa, come back here. But Yennefer, she could knock that. But if she could knock that bug's head off, why didn't she do it sooner, Phantom?
They should. Well, at first, she was mainly just wanted to just get away first. It's like her main objective. But then when she just realized, okay, can't get away. Then she wanted to go back for that kid, and it was still tracking them. So he was like, okay, let me just kill the freaking bug. Because even if the prince, just in case if even like that princess died, that baby still has legitimacy towards that throne. So it's still gonna go after that baby regardless.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, they function a lot like Dorn. So they whether it's a girl or a boy, the succession goes to the firstborn. Period.
Oh yeah, because they said Princess Ada was the heir to the throne, and that's Striga. That's why they had to keep it alive because old boy didn't have any sons. But yeah, that was just crazy. And it's like, man, if you could kill this thing, I mean, maybe that's what she did. She bounced out, powered up, came back, and was strong enough to do it. She just needed to rest or something. But
Yeah.
as well, I was like, if you could kill this bug, why not do it sooner? What the hell are you running from? But the Queen's kingdom erupts in chaos, but she finally calmed it down at that party. Like, they were all losing their minds for a second. And it was funny when the Queen asked Geralt if he was afraid of destiny, and he said no. And she thought she finally had an ally, but then he was like quick to follow it up with, but a promise was made and it must be honored. I was like, oh, it's like,
told y'all, Geralt ain't about that bullshit.
No, he's like, I might not believe it on this side, but let me flip it up. I'm still with it because of this. I was like, I love Geralt. And the Queen was so disgusted by this thing, having like the audacity to even show his face in her court, much less ask for the hand of Pavada. She decides like, oh, the hell with destiny, and tries to end him right then and there with that dagger. But this unleashes Pavada's Lion War and blows everybody back.
Yep.
So this thing's just running hard, and we still don't know. Like, do we have any idea like what this Lion War is going to be, or is it just some special power, or what's all that power entail? Like, do you have any idea, Phantom?
What, the yelling power?
Yeah, when they just roar and knock everybody back like that.
I still don't know. Until then, she's pretty much just like what's that DC character? The freaking with the
Black
Banshee.
Canary.
Yeah. There we go. Yep.
Yeah.
I just want to point out that tidbit that DJ just tossed out, though. You were asking about the law of surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Who else has that power that the princess has?
Oh, little Ciri. Yeah, exactly. So we already know that like this woman, Pravada, is Maggie the Frog's daughter, and then Ciri is Pavada's daughter.
And they say that Maggie the Frog's mom, she had it, but she hadn't. Like, they skipped a generation.
And skipped Maggie the Frog for some
reason. And what happened after Geralt claimed the law of surprise?
Oh yeah, we already saw that. Like, we're gonna get to it. But it's gonna keep on going, and that's why we see they answered a lot of questions in this one. So that's obviously gonna be
surprisingly. Yeah, we're all usually complaining like we need more information.
Yeah, they answered a lot.
But they handled it though.
And it took Grandmama seeing the lioness power to finally give in. But what was that whisper Pavada was saying as it all went down, AK? Like when she was up in the air, she was sitting there whispering to the porcupine the whole time. You have any idea what she was saying to him?
I don't think it was something as superficial as, it's okay, we'll make it love, blah, 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 whatever. I want to say it was some type of prayer or spell, but I honestly don't remember. I can visualize the scene in my head, but I don't remember a lot of the words that were said.
And they didn't tell us what it was. We just you have to guess. But I'm like, I don't know. You have any ideas what you might have been telling them, Phantom?
Nope.
I know, it's like they gotta fill us in on that one, because I want to know what she was talking about while she was up in the air spinning like that, floating, levitating. Wait, what? But it took the Witcher sipping on some private reserve with his friend casting spells to finally knock Pavetta down. And what is it, the power that this family has? Like, that is just some crazy shit. She can fly, float, knock people back, roar. Like, I need to know more about this power.
And it's kind of weird because anyone with, I'm guessing it could be a mutation, quote unquote, but who knows? But they're treating this family like okay, even though they have this ability. But any other person with abilities and crap, discard them. Some type of prejudice, discrimination. I'm just like, really?
Yeah, well, because they're pretty blondes, it's all good. But back out in the woods, Ciri is dreaming of war. And are these visions of things to come, fandom, or like these slaughters are these slaughters of things that have already happened? Do you think?
Repeat it again. At what point?
Back out in the woods, when Ciri was asleep, she's dreaming of war. And I was wondering if those are visions of things to come or slaughters that have already happened.
Oh yeah, I was thinking like it could be either could happen. Is my guess, as long as she stays there, because near the end of the episode they figure out that where she's located. So I'm just like, okay, if she continues to stay here, are they going to end up going inside this enchanted forest?
That's things that happen like that.
DJ, can you clarify for me what was in the dreams that she was having? Like which?
Oh, there were the bunch of guys on soldiers on horses were slaughtering a bunch of people.
Yeah, from Nilfgaard. Yeah,
it must have been elvish type people because they were like cutting the ears off, and we already see that. Oh boy, that's one of the things.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember now. I think that was just flashing back, but with how these timelines are going, it's things that still need to be analyzed and brought up for future fights to come.
Yeah,
Oh, they also could be seeing the Great Cleansing too.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's a part of what it was.
I kind of thought that because she was doing that after old boy had told her what happened. So it's like
Hmm.
maybe somehow she was actually seeing what happened and seeing that it was true. So that
Yeah.
was kind of crazy. And maybe it's just that forest that's giving her that vision, showing her that it was true. And
That
the dream
again, I
showed,
recall that warning he gave her.
and the dream showed like her hands were bloody too. So are they saying that the slaughter was in some way her fault, Phantom?
If it's the future, then if they end up if Nilfgaard ends up going inside the Enchanted Forest, then yeah, it could be her fault. Or because it's like the Great Cleansing, which her grandmother like pretty much was part of.
It's just showing it was
So
her blood.
yeah, it's
Hmm.
kind of like inadvertently was like her doing, even though it wasn't.
I like that.
Yeah.
And she awakens to see Dara's already drinking the water, and now they're asking her to do the same. And I don't know. Again, Phantom, are you drinking that stuff that the same might kill you?
Nah, I have a hard time drinking water as it is, and now you want me to like go drink some enchanted water? Nah.
What you got against water? Our
Oh,
bodies are like 70% water. Drink the damn water.
Yeah,
I
I'm
drink.
changing my diet. I have to add water in like a cup a day to help me out.
I drink like a gallon and a half of water a day. I
Right.
pound
You
it
got to nowadays,
all day long.
especially.
All day long. I
Keep
pound it.
them pipes clean.
But Siri drinks up and nothing happens, and then Black Maggie decides that it's time to go see Shaka Khan. And then yeah, so we switch back out. We're gonna see what happens with that. And then Yennefer monologues to a dead baby. So I'm not sure if that was meant for like her to feel better or for the audience to feel better. But that's kind of crazy that she was talking to a dead baby for so long.
You remember what I said earlier
What's that?
for the surgery that Yennefer was going to regret some things?
Oh, not being able to have a baby.
That was part of it. Yeah, that's why she fought so hard to save that kid.
I gotcha. There you go. So now, instead of one betrothal, there's going to be two, and the queen has finally accepted the hand of ice, and of course, Pavada will marry Dunny. So she ends up getting what she wants because she loved him anyway. And once the queen gave her blessing and they sealed it with a kiss, the curse was broken, and Quillface was no more. So he was all happy, and the queen was happy.
Hmm.
I wonder if he lost all his strength too, though.
I bet
And
he
then,
didn't. He seemed like a skilled fighter.
it could be. He said, I think he's a knight. And then Geralt tries to leave, but Dunny now owes him a life debt. So, not wanting anything, but seeing that they won't take no for an answer, he just spews out, "Fine, I'll just take the law of surprise." And he acted like it was nothing, but did he know what he was doing? Like, he can already smell and sniff stuff like on other things. Do you think he could probably smell that Pavetta was preggers and he did that on purpose, AK?
No, he did it because he just wanted to get the whole situation over with, and that's why you see him with like the heavy internal eye roll when she throws up because he's like, oh fuck.
Oh, he gave it back. He's like, ah, yeah. He's like, ah, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh,
Shot of murder water.
Oh man. Musak tries to talk Geralt into staying and says that the chaos will consume them all if he does not. And he says he doesn't believe in destiny, and Musak said he's afraid of it. Who do you think's right, Phantom? Is he afraid of destiny, or he just really doesn't believe in it?
I think it's a bit of both though, because if he doesn't believe in it, it's like why is he still having those like fever dreams about what the I still forget her name.
Renfrey?
Renfrey?
Renfrey. Yeah, he still like has that within his mind. So it's like you don't believe in destiny, still having your subconscious mind and your dreams still like constantly brings it up. So it's like almost like an internal conflict with himself.
Is Geralt not feeling their not being there to claim the bond? Is that the reason that the kingdom fell to hell? AK Musak said that would happen. So do you think because he left, that's why old girl lost her kingdom and it fell into chaos like that?
No, Maggie the Frog was already campaigning and at war with these folks. So the fact that she was outnumbered, but yet she still pushed that conflict, that's why her house came to ruin, and those guards and soldiers could come in and take them out. Geralt, I can't say that like he's afraid of destiny. He just didn't want to deal with the whole situation. That's all it was. So when you take into account, Ciri, as we saw her at the beginning, when Megan the Frog finally decided to start her training to rule, Geralt was around, but he again just didn't want shit to do with it. He wasn't afraid of anything. It's Geralt. He's never afraid. He just didn't want to do any of that. And he also especially tries to avoid doing anything with where children are concerned because he doesn't want any of them to potentially end up like him.
Yeah.
And it's kind of ironic because in this whole feast, they were just, trolling Nerfguard. And literally like 9 to 10 years later, they're the ones who like sack their kingdom. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Dunny got Pavetta preggers while he was still a groundhog. So we already know that the baby's baby Ciri, but is she totally human, or is there some things we don't know about, Phantom?
And we still don't even know like why the that family like has that screaming banshee power. So it's like she's still not normal, but also surprised she isn't a porcupine.
She might not. I don't know. We never seen her, so we know she might not be there.
The porcupine face was just a spell, though.
It was a curse.
So I've never seen. Wait, what'd you say?
I said it was a curse, but it was a curse that he got a lady pregnant while he was under.
Yeah, true, but curses don't usually work in that way. I mean, y'all could be onto something though. That's some tinfoil I could get behind. But I don't think that it's just because of the porcupine face. I want to say there's some magical blood within them. I just don't remember if it's from elves or from something else. I feel like it's something else. I just really don't remember.
If it's elves, that'd be messed up. Because literally with the whole cleansing and crap, it's like, dang, you're like part elf.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking that there's something else that happened in the family tree that afforded them these extra powers.
Could be. And as her grandmother kingdom burns, some mages find her body and use it to track where Ciri is. Does the new king just want to kill the rightful heir to the throne, or is there another reason that they want to track down Ciri, Phantom?
I'm guessing it all has to stir with, well, one is Nerfguard thing, and two, we now see that the what's the whole freaking court, the guy who's running it, like his niece is there. She was sent to Nerfguard, and near the end of the episode, she's still there. So it's like, is it something like with the whole court thing that they know something about Ciri and they're trying to use her, and knowing how, if so, Stragabor's must be behind it.
So you think this is all Stragabor's doing, and that's the whole reason that they wanted to grow there and not that one guy's niece?
Yeah. All ties in with that. That's my guess.
Yeah, I don't know that I could actually get behind the Strugabor part, but killing heirs, that's kind of just like status quo when you take over somebody's kingdom. Absolutely. So none of them know how powerful Ciri is. If they could have just taken her out with an arrow to the throat, they would have. It's just that's what's supposed to happen when you take over some shit. You kill all the heirs and make sure they can never come back at you.
Exactly. And then in the Fairest, Ithrin takes Ciri to see the Blood Raven and drink his blood. And I'm sorry, but if I got a handful of that slime green goop, I'd have been like, this is not water, and I'm not drinking this. Like,
don't drink the water. Don't drink the Jojen paste. No, just don't. Go find your own water source or something.
Oh, yeah, the sap of Blood Raven is not going anywhere near my throat. That was just messed up. Oh, hell no. But the little lioness chugged it down, and she heads off to the ancestral plane. And once there, Blood Raven actually speaks to her. But seriously, who was that talking, Phantom?
Don't know.
Like, what was it? What's the voice of that tree? Is that the spirits in the tree? Is that the actual tree? Is that like her old ancestors? Like, what's up, AK? Did they ever touch on that?
I don't recall. The main thing that I remember about her going into the forest and meeting up with the children of the forest is that little homie told her not to, because then they'll never let you leave. They recognize the power that Ciri has. So I think they literally wanted to try to turn her into a weapon. Hence them trying to make her partake in some of their food and drink, like Persephone in Greek mythology. Hades kidnapped her, but then eventually she was able to leave. But because she ate food down there, the pomegranate seeds, she had to go back every 6 months.
Right. Maybe something like that.
Because they were really questioning, like, how did she get in?
And they're asking, that's what the tree said. They're like, what are you, child?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, they see all that shit in there.
Near the end of the episode, that freaking Nerf guard guy was like, "It's not going to be easy. Just like getting like 10 or 20,000 like soldiers to go into this forest."
Mhm.
Yeah,
And if Siri just like casually just walked in, they're like, "Okay, here's something
Yeah,
beyond."
they recognize her power. They want her on their team. Any enemy that goes into that forest is kind of gonna end up like what is it called? Forehand something or Fangolin Forest in Lord of the Rings.
oh yeah,
How when the orcs were retreating from not Theoden, the Rohirrim, they ran into that forest and every last one of them damn trees killed them.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, he said 10,000, no, 12,000 men. He's like 12,000 men isn't the way to
That
get
ain't
it.
enough.
So he already knows a little something about it. But he's got those magic mages with him. That was messed up. That thing cut off some of her skin, ate it, and then got gutted. Like, oh, that was just nasty. That was
Very.
that was creepy as shit. But that was the end of this one. We're gonna see if anybody remembers anything. Gonna ask just a few trivia questions here. If you know the answers, write them in the chat box. If you're watching this later, write them in the comments down below. What forest did Siri enter?
Bro, kill him.
Yep, absolutely. I like how there's like, you think that person was from Brooklyn who named that forest? The Brooklynian forest? Get the hell out of here. I was like, this is New Yorker over here. Who was the favorite to marry Prince Pravetta?
It was
The
what's his
douchebag
name?
asshole.
Krang on. What's it? Wait.
He was a
Kronk
highborn lord's
on
son or
Crave.
some shit like that. I
It
don't
was like
remember.
the nephew of SD whatever.
Yeah, Crocker Crate. You got
There we
you're
go.
all over that one.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well done. Well done. 2 for 2. Nicely done. What do the women in the forest call themselves?
Dryads.
Yeah, look at him
Yeah.
go, folks. He's just crushing it. Talking about, I know about a dryad. Geralt tells the queen if they can't make any more of his kind since the sacking of who?
It was the second.
It was his castle. Shit.
I gotta
They
hear.
totally had to rebuild it, and I can't remember the freaking name of it.
Dang, hold up! I gotta hear my notes somewhere.
Yeah. Scroll through. Save us.
Queen was since this is the sacking of Kaer Morhen.
Kaer Morhen, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Damn. Yeah, blowing my mind. Well done, Kaer Morhen. Absolutely. What did the warthog claim was his right to Princess Pravetta?
Law of surprise.
Absolutely.
the
Surprise.
surprise.
Kind of a trick question. Well done. And last but not least, what did Pravetta call Porcupine Face? What was his name?
Damn it!
Shit. See, I told you, there's always at least one where we're both like, fuck.
Wait, Dunny?
Yeah, there you go.
Was
Absolutely.
it Dunny?
It was absolutely Dunny. Well
All right,
done.
good on you, fandom.
Did you go 100% again?
Way to come through.
Holy shnikes, just crushing it. Man, I knew I eased them up, but I know I made them that
Yeah, I was
easy.
gonna say, yeah, the last two we have all hit. Fandom got the bulk of them this time. I got the bulk last time. So yeah, we even out.
Teamwork. That's how it's done. And that's going to do it for us. I want to thank everybody for coming out and hanging out with us, man. This Witcher has got me going sideways, and I can't wait to see how the web unwinds. So we're going to get right back into it. We'll be back on our regular time next Tuesday, so hope to see you guys here. Hope everybody's having an absolutely fantastic week, and it only gets better from here. Till we see you next Tuesday, everybody. Be easy.
Fuck the bard.